Welcome back to Troy's Remote Work Series, Episode 4. How do you connect securely to your office from a remote location? In Episode 3, we talked about how you get connected to the internet. So in this episode, I want to talk specifically about the situation where you're working remotely on your laptop and you need to connect back to your office to be able to use a particular application. In my case, I've got a couple of applications that I run and they're run out of my office. So I need to connect from my location where I am now to my office and do it securely. There really is only one way to do that, and that's with a virtual private network, or VPN for short. Simply, a VPN is software that you've loaded on your laptop that when you use it, it connects securely to your office. That connection make sure that no one can access the information that you're sending across the internet. If you do it any other way, you're susceptible to having that information looked at by an outside party, potentially even hacked. Couple important factors with a VPN connection that are important is the speed of your connection. I talked about connection speeds in the last episode. This is connection speeds now. To have a quick VPN connection, most VPN services or software specify about a 10 megabit per second connection in order to be able to use that VPN service without any issues from speed. So you've addressed the speed issue with your cell phone or Wi-Fi or Starlink or whatever you're using. Now you need to have a stable connection, because once you're connected to that VPN, any interruption in that data service, you will drop the VPN connection drops, which means it turns off. It can't connect back to your office again until you reestablish that connection. And depending on what you're doing, it can be extremely frustrating. For instance, that happens a lot with me with my Starlink service. You've got to be very careful about interference or obstructions coming from trees. So when you set the Starlink service up, it's working great because there's no wind out. Later on in the day, the wind picks up, trees, leaves, branches start moving. All of a sudden, my VPN connection to my office is dropping all the time. It's very frustrating. So you got to be cognizant of that. I've got an illustration here that shows, my illustration showed a little bit about that, so you can get an understanding. Now there's two types of VPN services that you can use. One is connects directly from your laptop to your office. So that's the first type. The second type connects from your laptop to a cloud service provider, and then from the cloud service provider to your office. I prefer the second option, and I'll tell you why, for stability reasons. Because the connection from your laptop to the cloud service provider can get interrupted for whatever reason, and it can happen for a multitude of reasons when you're working remote. But the connection from the cloud service provider to your office stays connected. So what that means is that you reconnect and reestablish that connection much easier, and you typically don't run into as many stability problems with that cloud-based VPN connection. The next episode, I'm going to be talking exclusively about my Starlink internet connection for working remotely. Thanks.